dust off. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hello and welcome to Imola here in Italy for another round of the Adrenaline Impact Porsche 911 Carrera Cup Series, brought to you by Vertex Esports and our media partners, Galeri Kereta. I'm going to be your host for this evening, Max Palmer. With me in the studio, in the car as well, I do believe, is Kelvin T. Say hi.
Hello, everybody, and good evening.
Absolutely fantastic race we have for you today. I think these cars are going to be quite well suited for Imola. There's a real challenging mix of slow speed corners and high speed sweepers, and that's really the two categories of corners that these cars really race well at. Of course, we have a special announcement by way of 3 Porsche 911s with a very special livery. Happy birthday to Sharel Narafudin Pingu out there. We've got his special livery there. I believe a couple of the other drivers there, Kavinder Singh, I think, and Melvin as well, running that livery, and Shame Aizan there also driving that car there. A couple of his famous comments on the car as well, so that's a nice little tribute there from Team Hyperballs to one of their favorite drivers there. Today's my birthday. Hate me, then Lambumi.
I mean, it's such good times to see camaraderie like that amongst the racers, guys. Seriously.
Indeed, and it's a beautiful place to have a little birthday celebration race, if you can call it that. Matshapawi, their fastest car out on track in qualifying right now. Matshapawi, Taki in second place, Shame is in third, Mavinder Jit Singh in fourth place, Nabil in third, behind him in sixth, Paduka in seventh, Akid Basar on the eighth, and Fire is in 10th there. But Kelvin, you're out there, you're in 9th place at the moment. Confident?
No. I hate this car. I mean, in iRacing, obviously the real Porsches, we love Porsches. They're great cars. Holds their value tremendously well, but in iRacing I just cannot, So nope, not confident at all.
Yeah, a little bit of a backstory to myself. Me and the team that I work for, Inter Formula, we've done quite a few Porsches in our time, both the road cars and the race cars as well. And one thing that's nice is that these cars really are engineered to race. There's no other brand of car where you can say that that's truly true. But it's been an absolute pleasure to work on these cars. Driving them, well, it's a bit of an acquired taste. You really got to be hard on the brakes, and as the old saying goes, as soon as you hit the throttle on a Porsche, you really don't want to back off again, because that engine is still way out behind the rear wheels. But that also gives it a lot of traction as well, so it's quite an interesting car to drive. Now, coming on board with Kavinder Singh here, coming into turn 1, and around the Tamburello there used to be a flat-out corner, but now it's got the famous Senna S right here, named in honor and in memory of Ayrton Senna, who tragically lost his life there. Now coming up to the Villeneuve chicane here, again a slightly tragic backstory there, but still a fantastic series of corners there. They really have managed to slow the cars down in quite an interesting way. Now around Tosa Hairpit and on the run up through Aqua Minerale. This is where the Porsches really struggle a little bit coming under brakes here. You're turning to the right there. These cars want to brake in a straight line, so you have to make sure the car is dead straight before this left-hander there. Again, using all of the curve on the exit before braking for Aqua Minerale. Again, you want that car in a straight line when you're doing the heavy braking portion. Coming out of here, the car's constantly turning on the exit there, so again, when you're on throttle, a similar thing, you really want to keep the car as straight as possible. Now coming up to Variante Alta, or upper chicane, very difficult corner. In all my time sim racing, I haven't actually got that corner right, I think. At least not very often anyways. But now coming up to these two left-handers here, again, the car's turning just a little bit coming to the braking zone there, so you have to really make sure the car's dead straight coming into that braking zone there. And again, straight lining the car coming out of the corner and coming across the line there. There used to be a chicane here before the entry of the pits, but now they've gotten rid of that to try and bring back the old school flow of Imola.
Oh, what a lap, Max.
And it was a good lap from Kelvinder as well. He's now up into second place, 144.931. Iman Danish is the fastest man out on track, 144.908. Absolutely flying lap times from some of the drivers there. Well on board with Saiful Arifin. Ipin there, of course, he's quick in any car. And it'll be interesting to see how well he does up there. Paducah turns in a 147.667 there. We've got a few other drivers there, Bobby Farid and Effendi Shafrin as well, coming in 9th place there. Akipasarom, he's in 7th at the moment, trying to improve. He's not going to improve there. In fact, a lot of the drivers are improving on their second hot lap around there. So it's going to be interesting to see if perhaps they're going to have to slow down a little bit, perhaps bring those tire temperatures under control a little bit before they go for another hot lap. That was another thing. Yeah, so Kelvin, how's your tire temperatures doing?
So good. I mean, the car actually really, I think, after a few laps you start to build confidence, and that's when you actually get into trouble. I actually spun the car. I mean, didn't spin the car per se, but I actually lost traction at the chicane up the hill after Aqua Minerali, and then off into the wall I went, and I have a cold tire and I have to start again. So, tough.
Yeah, it's no. I think Kelvin, you know this about me more than anything else. I don't really have tracks that I love or hate, but I do hate one thing in all of racetrack design, and that's the Variante Alta chicane. I don't know why, but my body seems incapable of going through there without at least one spin.
Without squirming, right?
Yeah. I tend to be very slow going through there, but at least it's quite difficult to overtake there, so I don't tend to get too disadvantaged going through there right now. So that's in the meanwhile, that's enough about my failings. There's quite a few more talented drivers out there right now. Bobby Farid comes across the line. He should be able to improve, and he does. 148.5. 147.4. I do apologize, bringing him up into 11th place right now. And it looks like a lot of the drivers aren't quite able to improve on their first lap time. I'm guessing that it can be quite tricky to, like I said, manage the tyre wear and the tyre temperatures through there. But Jazrin Jali, further along the lap there, he's getting quite quick. In fact, he's gone fastest in the 4th sector. We've split this track up into 5 sectors for qualifying, just to be a little bit more granular in our analysis, shall we say. Let's see how fast he is going across the line there. He's lost quite a lot of time in the final sector there. That would have been a quick lap time, but unfortunately not able to improve. Iman Danish still in 1st place right there. He's not going to be able to improve on this lap time, but let's have a look. Ayman Zubair is now coming up to the final sector here. Again, these last 2 corners are going to be very, very critical as well. These last 2 left-handers, because at the exit of here, you're going to really have to push the car quite hard if you're going to try and overtake the person ahead of you coming into Tamburello. So the final 2 left-handers in the lap, absolutely critical when it comes to race day.
Max, what are the last 2 corners called? Do you know?
Yeah, give me a second. I almost said the wrong thing. I have track maps.
I see. Alright. I seem to remember they're called something A, no?
Yes, I have been stumped, ladies and gentlemen.
It's called the Variante something. Variante.
It
something.
is the.
A Variante Alta. No.
No, Variante Alta is the chicane.
No.
The Variante Bassa was the chicane that was before the pits that they got rid of. Revazza. Revazza. Which I think means river or something. I'm not too sure. Leave a comment down below if you know what it means.
Anyone speaking Italian?
Who knows? So far, there's no comments down there. So do leave a comment down below, and we'll try and read it as we go through the course of the race there. But now coming towards the end of qualifying, we do have a new provisional pole position that Kavinder Singh has managed to get himself up into a 144.5, I believe.
Yes, 144.5. Almost half a second faster. Wow.
That is really quick there. For a second there, I thought he was just 1 or 2 seconds, but that's, yeah, half a second. That's going to be quite spectacular indeed. So now we're going to head off to the gridding of the race right now. And we're just going to have a quick look at the grid. Kelvinder Singh with that fantastic 144.513. He's on pole position, followed by Iman Danish in second place. Mat Chapawi doing very well for himself, getting himself all the way up into third place. Taki is in fourth there, with Shami Aizan in fifth, Malvinderjit Singh in sixth, and Akit Basrong in seventh place. Interestingly, pole position man and fifth and sixth place man, again with that special livery. So do look out for that. In 8th place, Aman Zubair, followed by Ahmad Nabil in 9th, Mahaimin in 10th, Paduka Shoaib in 11th place, and Bobby Farid in 12th place. Further down the field, we have our roving reporter, Kelvin T. He's definitely what you call a fly in the ointment, as Gonzo Journalism says. You're not just covering the race, you're in it right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna say something to the drivers. Hang on. We just have some in-car communication coming through right now.
Let's listen in.
Yep. Break awal is the message. Hang on. Oh, I'm just gonna send over a message as soon as they're done. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, salam sejahtera, selamat malam, dan welcome to this race. Thank you so much for being here today on a great Friday, and a happy birthday to Sharil. Have fun, drive safe, and see you at the finish line. Good luck, guys.
Did you happen to be a pilot or training for one?
I can no. I can do my my air cabin crew mode.
Oh,
Cabin crew mode, yeah, that's it.
That would be even better. So I believe we're on a standing start at the moment right now. The lights are off and away we go. Uniquely Porsche Carrera Cup races and Super Cup races start from a standing start there. So now heading down towards turn one. Really heavy braking there coming into the center as there at the end of Tamburello. We've got cars going too wide going through there, but they just about managed to get through cleanly. That's some fantastic door-to-door action going through the first sector there. No incidents to report so far. That's some pretty clean racing. I guess they really took... Oh, spoke too soon now. That's Hayden Haikal. And Tamizi, sorry. I do apologize. That was Tamizi Yusuf. They're off, and there was a couple of other drivers there. Afiq Fadlan, Hayden Haikal, couple of drivers that got slowed down near the end there, but it looks like everyone got going again. It was relatively slow speed at the very least. Now coming up towards, as we try and get the replay going, but it looks like the replay machine might just need a little bit more warming up. Speedway side by side going into Aqua Minerali there. Absolutely spectacular sights coming into that braking zone there. Right now we are having a look at Iman Danish with that Force India-esque livery there, that Racing Point style BWT livery. He is chasing after Kelvinder Singh again with the special message on his car as well. It's going to be a very interesting race between these two drivers there. Kelvinder going very well for himself there, and it looks like Malvinderjit and Shami Aizan's in third place with Malvinderjit in fourth, and they would want to try and get their special livery. Hopefully that'll give them some good luck and a 1-2-3 podium position. They're in a good position to try and get that right now. So Kelvinder Singh is leading, and he's got a fantastic start right now. 2.8 seconds is the gap, and the right after the first lap, Iman Danish in second place, Shami Aizan in third. But there is a battle, of course, brewing in the middle of the race. It cannot be an Adrenaline Impact broadcast without the trademark legendary Adrenaline Impact midfield battle, and Pagvinder Singh is right in the middle of it right now. He's got Muhaimin and Chapawi ahead of him, and he's got Azrael very close behind. He's going to try and make some big moves coming into the Villeneuve chicane. Very difficult coming into this braking zone right here. He's going to dive up on the inside coming into Tosa. No, he decides to back off just a little bit, but a couple of other drivers are getting a little bit racy further up the leaderboard there. But right now it looks like going through this section is going to be very difficult for him to try and do anything there. Parvinder Singh, incidentally, running that really, really cool shell livery. Kind of reminds me of the Penske DJR cars from V8 Supercars. And I think quite a lot of Aussies out there would know Dick Johnson, and a bit of a legend there, so it's nice to see that livery on the car there. Right now, behind him, Azrael, again, putting a lot of pressure on Parvinder, Roy Charles, as he's known to his friends there. And further up ahead, we see Mohammed and Mat Shapawi getting very, very racy with each other there, coming down towards Revatsa. Coming down to the braking zone here. Let's see if anything can happen there. It looks like Shapawi defending very well there, but that's caused a couple of other cars to get really close to the back of Mohammed. Meanwhile, Ilham Halabi, he starts from the back of the field as he always does, but he's run out a little bit wide there, perhaps pushing a little bit too hard in his attempts to try and fight his way through the field. But keep a very close eye on Ilham Halabi. He's a very, very quick driver there, and hopefully we'll be able to see him fight his way up the field. Saiful Arifin also electing to start from the rear. These two drivers really pushing themselves very hard there. It looks like Paducah is off the track. Paducah Shoaib has a big spin there going through the Senna S. Let's have a quick look at what happened there. Now coming through Tamburello, coming into the braking zone here. Again, very difficult for these cars because you're turning and braking at the same time. He tries to go in on the inside there. A little bit too much sauce, and he is around. So easy to carry. A little bit too much speed through there. Not too sure if the car behind him assisted, but in any case, he still survives, and he still should be able to carry on with the race. Right now, Ilham Halabi, he's up to 10th place, and it looks like Shami Aizan's dropped down to 9th. He was battling for podium position earlier on, but I believe he may have had a bit of an off-track excursion or a slight mistake that's dropped him quite a few places there. A lot of these drivers still very, very close to each other, so any mistake will be punished quite severely. Meanwhile, Ilham Halabi there, he is really pushing quite hard. Behind him is Akir Pasarong, and our intrepid reporter Kelvin T is further behind. How's your race going?
Just fun at the chicane, your favorite chicane?
Oh!
Variante
Alta. Yeah.
Yeah.
This commentator's curse writ large. I do apologise. You carry on.
I'm still safe.
Oh, that's the most important thing.
Commentator curse himself, yeah.
Wow. So we've had reports of my commentator's curse being quite powerful. I did not realise it was going to be that bad. Meanwhile, Ayman Zubair is out the front. He's doing quite well for himself, chasing after Taki up ahead there. Taki, very quick driver in GT cars. He did quite well for himself in the GT4s. So it'll be interesting to see how he does in the 911 GT3, the Carrera Cup car. And very, very interesting cars indeed. Mat Shapawi there, he's trying to go around the outside. Ayman just about holding him off there. Ayman Zubair in 5th place, Mat Shapawi in 6th place. This is a battle that's really hotting up right now, right there in the top 10 positions there. So 1st, 2nd and 3rd has driven away from this pack that's battling right now. The peloton, if you will, is getting closer and closer rather than further apart there, but it looks like Mat Shapawi, he's still able to keep that car rolling. I do apologize, actually it was Ayman Zubair that's ahead of Ahmad Nabla that was battling with Shapawi there. Akib Basrang makes a big mistake there going through Aqua Minerali, and it looks like there's a bit of damage on that car there. Hopefully he'll be able to carry on in the race and keep that car going. But very, very bad luck there. It looks like he's lost quite a bit of time as well, running off the road there. But he's still in 13th place, and he still has a good chance of getting up into the top 10. Speaking of top 10, just outside of it is Jazrin there battling with Kui, and these two drivers really know how to put on a show. Coming up into the start-finish straight, let's see if Jazrin Jali can try and pull off a slipstream maneuver. Will he be able to draft down there? Kui wisely decides to keep his line as tight as possible to the pit lane entry there, and just about managing to try and hold him off, but unfortunately Joshua Jolly manages to get him under brakes instead, coming into the Senna S, and that's brought Ake Pasarong a lot closer to this battle than he would otherwise be. When two cars are battling with each other, they do tend to both slow down because they're not taking the ideal line and the ideal braking zones going through those corners there. And it looks like that is Ayman Zubair who's spun at Tosa. So let's have a quick look at the instant replay coming into the braking zone there. Again, very, very tricky braking zone here, and you can see he's just lost it in the turn-in of the corner there. He wisely decides to just get the car off the off the apex of Tosa. It's a blind corner around there, so a very, very wise driving through there, but he's struggling to get into reverse gear, it looks like. Hopefully he'll be able to carry on. Saiful Arifin has managed to get himself up into 7th place. They're battling Saiful Arifin, they're battling with Ilham Hlabi as they are driving up through the field from the back of the field there. An absolutely forceful driving display from these two drivers there. Of course, Ilham in his famous yellow livery, Saiful Arifin still driving with that fantastic outer house FCR performance livery as well. Saiful Arifin also one of the best artists in iRacing, doing all those wonderful, wonderful liveries as well. Up ahead there, that's Ahmad Nabil. It looks like Ahmad Nabil, he knows he's not going to be able to hold these guys up for too much longer, so he decides to get out of the way and see if these guys will be able to pass there. Saiful Arifin's going to go side by side with Ahmad Nabil, but it's going to be a very tricky moment coming into the S's there. And it looks like Ilham Hlabi just managing to squeeze past Ahmad Nabil there, but that's 2 positions lost. But 2 positions gained for this battling pack there. Saiful Arifin's now in 6th place, Ilham Hlabi in 7th. The question is, with that damage on the front end of Saiful Arifin's car, will he be able to hold off Ilham Hlabi? These cars might not have the aerodynamics of a GT3 car, but they do have aerodynamics. There is a bit of a splitter on the front end, a bit of the famous high-mounted rear wing that these cars have as well. Apparently, the original 996 Carrera Cup cars had those wings quite high up because the designers thought it spoiled the look of the car. The wing was a little bit too low, so they decided to mount it a little bit higher, a little bit wider to get the same effect. The more you know.
The more you know, indeed. And that's some trivia from Max Palmer.
Oh yes, I've spent a lot of time with these Porsches there, and they're quite fun cars to watch. If you guys ever get a chance to watch Porsche Super Cup or Porsche Carrera Cup Asia races, they're really quite entertaining there. Shami Aizan going a little bit too quick there and gives Nabil a little bit of engine adjustment, as they say in Porsche racing. A little bit of a touch on the rear end there. Both drivers live to tell the story, however, as they come into a Rivazza. Shami Aizan still in 9th place, Ahmad Nabil in 8th position, perhaps with a little bit of a faster heart rate right now.
Me thinks they're trying to unclog the engine, you know, there's something clogged.
Perhaps. Maybe they're trying to get that IMS bearing to work again.
You know, yeah, IMS bearing.
That's a Porsche reference for you, 996 guys out there. Taki now in 4th position. He's chasing after Movidijit Singh, and it looks like he's got a fantastic run coming out of the Senna S. He tries to go in on the inside, going into the Villeneuve chicane there, but unable to do so. Let's see if he can do anything coming up into Tosa. It's going to be a really big dive going through there, but Movidijit goes wide, and Taki manages to get himself side by side. They're going to go side by side out of Tosa, coming up through the hill there. They're still going door to door, but it looks like Movidijit Singh just about managing to keep that car ahead. Now diving into the left-hander here. Again, very, very difficult because the car is going downhill and turning to the left while you're trying to accelerate. Now braking hard for Aqua Minerali. There is a bit of a chance coming into Variante Alta, but it's a big, big miss trying to overtake through there. The real trick is going to try and outbrake going into Rivazza, or getting a good run out of Rivazza and passing on the main straight there. But Taki definitely getting very, very racy indeed. And now, with some slight trepidation, I'm going to again try and call on Kelvin. How is your race, if I can ask that?
Bro, I'm at Aqua Minerali now, heading up to Variante Alta. So let's hope the curse is not so powerful this time around. No, but in all seriousness, it was not a commentator's curse. Like, it was just me running out of talent, you know.
Well, yeah, they got to blame it on something.
Oh yeah. Okay. Thanks, Max. All your fault. It was all you and your commentators' curse. And now I'm back up to 17 and actually enjoying the car. To be honest, this is my second time driving this, and it's tough. The engine is, I mean, to those that love it, I know you guys love it, but to me, the engine is in the wrong spot. But but it is a great car. I love Porsche. Whoa! And someone, Pyros just spun up. And that shows how dangerous these cars can be. Because when you spin, the engine's at the back. The inertial force will spring the car outward instead of towards the middle or center. So an interesting car. I like it. It's a very fun car to drive. High skills. Whoa! Something happened here.
Oh, that's Akid and Paducah, and that is for position there. Looks like he could go side by side with Akid there. He's still there. There you go. There was only barely enough space to fit your car between those two cars.
Oh yes, that was. That's why it's fun. That's why the Porsche is a nice car.
Yeah, for those of you who are wondering, do check them out on Facebook, because they do occasionally, on YouTube as well, because they do occasionally put some Super Cup highlights and Carrera Cup race broadcasts up on their social media. It is a fantastic form of racing. It's almost a cross between touring car and GT car, and these cars really can race side by side, just like something like a V8 supercar. So it's great fun to watch the real life races, just as it's great fun to watch you in our patented, trademarked and copyrighted Adrenaline Impact midfield battle. You're in the middle of it right now.
Oh God, I got punt.
Oh no!
Oh, I got a punt. Tough luck.
It looked like they were just backing everyone else up coming into the braking zone there. It looks it's a very unfortunate situation there to be caught up in. It must be a little bit frustrating for you, but you're still in 18th. You still have some chance of gaining positions there. But
the good part is that the engine's at the back, right? So it needed some unclogging, so I got some help there.
It cleared up the sensors there.
It cleared it out. Yeah, the sensors work fine now, So you see, let's see if I can still do some decent laps,
Well, good thing that Kelvin's still in good cheer there. Meanwhile, we're going to point the cameras somewhere else and hopefully clear up a little bit more of the commentators' curse right now. Shami Aisan's in 9th place with Jazrin and Jali just up ahead there. Ilham and Saiful still in 6th and 7th places. It looks like Machapali and Mavinderjit Singh aren't exactly succumbing to the two aliens bearing down on them behind. They're actually holding their own in terms of pace there. And in fact, Mavinderjit and Taki are going into a bit of a battle in 3rd and 4th place, just as Shami Aizan is with Jazri here, 8th and 9th position. Now again, let's see where this overtaking maneuver is going to happen. We've seen so far today that the slipstream effect down the main straight is absolutely crazy. And of course, the outbraking battles that these cars are literally designed to do. These cars are definitely designed to be as entertaining as possible. Coming through Rivasa there, and there's a car that's backed everyone up there. That looks like it's Ilham Hlabi that's spun as well, and the exit of Rivasa. So that's two cars spun out. And it looks like Ilham Hlabi. Let's have a quick look at that again. Now coming down towards Rivasa again, very difficult braking position there. And it's so rare to see Ilham Hlabi make a mistake there, but it looks like he's just gone a little bit wide because there was a car slowed up there, and there's another car behind him. Yeah, Saiful slowed down because he was going a little bit too wide there, perhaps. He was on the gravel. You don't want to hit the throttle when you're on the gravel there, so unfortunately Ilham came across a very difficult situation there. Hayden Hiker backed off there, and you could see actually when he backed off halfway through the corner there, the car immediately spun. Again, that's one of those things that you really need to learn when you drive a Porsche. There's a few things that you have to do differently compared to other cars there. Hayden came into that situation. He saw the other cars slowing up. He did what he could do, which is check up a little bit on the throttle and back off just a little bit, but unfortunately he found himself pointing in a different direction to the one he intended to be in. So that was a double spin at Rivasa there, and it looks like that battle has rested a little bit there. Jasreen managing to get past Shami there, but Mavinderjit Singh, he is still battling for a podium position. This is the biggest battle of them all. Of course, Iman Danish still trying to fight, still trying to push his way through and get himself up to where Kelvinder is in first place. But meanwhile, Vinderjit Singh and Taki, they're very, very close together there. Half a second there. Looks like Taki got very sideways through there, but Vinderjit had a little bit of understeer. Believe it or not, these cars can understeer if you're not driving them right. So it's very, very tricky. Of course, Porsches are famous for oversteering, but the understeer is also quite a big part of Porsche driving. Now coming up to the braking zone here, it looks like both drivers lost just about the same amount of time through that slight mistake. And every single mistake matters in this car and this type of racing. The slightest move out can really, really affect the performance of these cars. There, you really do have to be on your A game when you're driving at this level. And this is, trust me, ladies and gentlemen, a very high level of racing indeed. Effendi Shafrin there, he's battling with Mohaimin up ahead. Now this is a relatively new driver to Adrenaline Impact races, but he's definitely proving himself to be a worthy opponent. Now coming down into the braking zone here, we see Mohaimin up ahead. Effendi really closing up there, using again that draft, that slipstream effect in order to close up to the car up ahead. And the great thing about these cars is that while they do have aero, it's very clean aero as we call it. So there's not a lot of turbulent air behind the cars. You can follow very close together without losing too much downforce, and that's great news for us fans in the stands there. If I'm getting a little bit wide there, that's given a little bit of breathing space to Mohaimin. That was a 0.6 second gap. Now it's more like a 0.19 to a 1.1 second gap there, but that's going to be another battle to go through. But right now we've got Bhagvinder Singh right now right behind Afiq Fadlan. Afiq's got a lot of damage on his car right now, and they're actually coming up towards Kelvin T further up ahead here. So this could be a very interesting battle developing near the rear end of the field. And look at that Afiq Fadlan. He's trying to push that car as hard as possible, but there's a little bit of bodywork damage. Perhaps he's losing a little bit of aerodynamic efficiency. That wing isn't quite on just quite straight and level there, but he seems to be able to keep up a good pace there. Parvinder Singh, Roy Charles pushing very hard as well. These three cars beginning to close up quite a bit through there, but it looks like Parvinder has made a big mistake there. He's gone and taken a little bit too much curb at Variante Alta. One of a list of things that could go wrong going through that chicane there. And Akib Basaram's gone off the track as well. He's indulged in a bit of rallycross there as Akib Basaram, but he's managed to get the car back up on the track there. Kelvin T goes in and looks like he's trying to break the toe of the car behind there. It's Kelvin T versus Afiq Fadlan coming down the main straight, coming into the braking zone here. Who is going to get the upper hand? It looks like Kelvin's trying to cover off on the inside there. Will he go on the inside? Will he go on the outside? He's trying to cover it off. He's trying to keep it in the center, which is actually quite a wise maneuver there in order to try and make sure there's not enough space for Afiq to go either left or right, and definitely kept him guessing. So a very nice maneuver there by Kelvin T, even if we do say so ourselves.
Oh, thank you. I actually was trying to move out of the way. having my engine is a bit it's taking on a bit of water. Yeah, I'm not going up to top speed at the car at the moment, so I thought I was moving out. But I feel like I can hold on, so I'm going to try to hold on for a bit.
Okay, Kelvin went into the pits for the first. He's the first one to go for the pits. Yeah.
Alrighty, so are we going to have pit stops for this race?
Yeah, it's our regular thing. With a limited amount of fuel today, 45% of capacity, that should last. If they could fuel save, maybe up to
outside.
Yeah, 28 minutes. Yeah. But wise choice for Kelvinder, going as early as possible. Iman Danish proved it last time, remember?
Yes, so when you're at the pace, when you're really pushing hard, and especially if you're at the front, it could be very useful if you can go in and try and undercut the driver up ahead. Again, it's a very complicated sort of math equation that goes on as to whether you undercut or overcut there, but looking at that, he's gone for the undercut maneuver there. He's come out in 9th place, but he has quite a bit of a gap up at the front of the field. Now this puts all the pressure on Iman Danish, because he's going to have to try and push as hard as possible in order to try and get as much of a gap between himself and the car behind him before he goes into the pits, in order for him to have any chance. So whilst Kalvinder has quite a bit of a job there in 9th place, he's gonna still want to try and gain a few positions there. But he's also going to automatically gain a few positions from drivers coming into the pits. The Iman has the hardest job. He's hot lapping right now. He's going to have to try and do a good 3 or 4 laps at qualifying pace, and that can be one of the hardest things you do as a driver. But that's going to be Iman's strategy right now. The cars have been dealt right now in the pit stop battle. It'll be interesting to see where this ends up. Now coming up to the battle for 3rd place right now, effectively on track, perhaps the battle for 4th or 5th place there, but they're in the podium positions as we speak. They've been battling for quite some time right now. Taki and Melvin pushing very, very hard indeed throughout the course of the race here. Now they're going hard into the braking zone there. They're going also fairly long. I suspect that most of the drivers were looking for 24, 25 minutes. By the looks of things, like our director Carol said, if they could possibly push it to 28 minutes. I'm sure a couple of drivers will try and do that. But now coming through the corner here, Taki is going to try and go around the inside, but Vidijit is going around the outside there, and it looks like, yes, he does give the space coming around the corner there, but Melvin, very, very smart maneuver going around Tosa there. You can make the outside line work, so instead of closing the door, he's kept that door open, but he's kept a nice slick shot exit so he can defend that way with better exit traction. Now coming up towards there, you can see that through the middle part of the lap there, that Melvinijit has a bit of an advantage on Taki coming up to the second part of Aqua Minerali there, but Taki's got that car dialed in under brakes quite nicely. It's definitely suiting his driving style when it comes to the slower corners. Let's see how they do going through Variante Alta. Very, very aggressive over the curbs there, and you have to be in order to get a good lap time there. And yes, you do run a little bit wide coming out of that chicane, but that's a-okay according to the iRacing system, I suppose. Coming into the braking zone here, and Taki's lost it. Taki just about, he got the rear end, clipped the curb there, and that's unsettled the car. And when you have that in a push, he did a very good job there to try and keep the car in a straight line. Well held there, but he's obviously lost a few positions there, so that's one battle that's gone a little bit awry. Meanwhile, Machipawi has gone into the pits.
Yeah. Next up, we'll see how Kavinder will climb back to his podium position. It wouldn't be an easy task, but it's all properly laid, I think, Max.
Yeah. Basically, he does need to try and get past as many people as possible. He doesn't want to be slowed down too much in traffic. But let's see, he's going to get past Machipawi there into 7th place, but now he's definitely going to have to try and push as hard as possible in order to catch up with the car ahead, which is Ilham Hlabi. So not the easiest person to try and overtake there, but Kavinder Singh, very, very good GT driver. We've seen that he's very fast in the GT3 car. We've seen how well he does in SLA racing as well, so I wouldn't put it past him, but he's definitely going to be quite tricky indeed. Again, Kavinder Singh, he still has to push. And that looks like it was Ilham. Ilham Hlabi is the car up ahead on his timing screens.
No, it was someone else. I missed it.
We're not too sure what happened there. Right now, Pravinder looks like he's out on our timing screens. There are quite a few drivers that's out right now. And Saiful Arifin. Saiful Arifin is out.
Yeah, it was due to that, I think, damage he suffered when he slowed down.
Yeah. So we have Pravinder Singh, Roy Charles out, Saiful Arifin out, Paduka is out, Hayden Heikel is out, Ayman Zubair is out, and Tamizi out on the first lap there. So it's been quite a race of attrition for these drivers, and now we have a really interesting development in the race there. Iman Danish goes into the pits, and now let's see where Kelvinder comes out there. Of course, Jazreen's going to go past, he hasn't pitted yet, and Kui probably will get past Ilham. Kui and Ilham is going to be very close there between these two drivers. Kui goes into the pits, Ilham Hlabi has stayed out, but right now it looks like it's going to be Ilham goes past there, and it looks like Ivan Danish slots about behind Ilham Halabi there, but crucially ahead of Kelvinder Singh. So Iman Danish has in fact overtaken Kelvinder in the pits. So this is going to be quite interesting to see how this shapes up. Remember, Jazrin and Ilham, I believe they haven't pitted yet.
Yeah,
So-
let's see the pit stop.
So it does appear to be, yes, there is confirmation there. So Iman Danish has managed to counteract that undercut. He's managed to push that Porsche as hard as it'll go. Kelvinder obviously got caught up a little bit in some traffic there. And the gap isn't very big. They're within sight of each other in some parts of the track there. Like you see there, 4 seconds. So Iman Danish managing to respond to that undercut there and really push hard on his in-laps. And that was the critical factor in making sure he got ahead in effectively first place. Of course, there's the 2 drivers up ahead, Jazrin and Ilham. They're going to be pushing as hard as they can in order to try and get as high up, as big of a gap as possible in order to maintain their gap there. Jazrin Jali there, he's in first place. So now it's 28 minutes past. So Jazrin Jali, again, he's very, very smart when it comes to his pit stop strategy. So he's going very late indeed. He might only take just enough fuel in order to get him to the end of the race there. It'll be interesting. We'll keep an eye on how that strategy does. Of course, it's the same strategy that Ilham Labi has done as well. Are these 2 drivers very, very savvy when it comes to their pit strategies there, but perhaps they've left it a little bit late when it comes to that. There's about roughly 11 minutes to go in the race. Iman Danish now, he goes up into first position. Kelvinder Singh goes up into second place. Jazrin Jali, he's now on the pit exit, so he's still in third position. He's gained a lot of time there by pitting this late in the race, and Ilham Labi has as well. Machapawi might get past them. Yes, he does, in fact. So Jazrin's going to come out in fifth position. Movidijit and Taki getting past there. That battle's still going on. So Jazrin Jali, he almost had enough gap in order to try and get out and ahead of the cars up ahead here. But now he's got a bit of a battle now with Taki and of course Movidijit further ahead on the road there. So valiant effort from Jazrin Jali. He has in fact gained 12 positions throughout the course of this race there. So a real overtake hero there for Jazrin Jali. A real drive from him as we see. Taki there still in 5th place, battling with Movidijit Singh. And this is a battle that's been going on all race long. Absolutely spectacular stuff indeed. Taki there in the Monster Energy livery. And of course, Movidijit there trying to get the birthday livery as high as possible. So, Pingu, if you're watching, happy birthday. There you go. So that's Shawal Nurafuddin. It's his birthday today, and a lot of the drivers out there, a couple of the Hyperbulls drivers running a special livery just for him. So that's very, very interesting stuff indeed. Taki getting a little bit closer every lap to Melvin there. He's got to have to be a little bit careful coming out of Rivatsa. He's got to try and get as good a drive out of Rivatsa as possible. If there's any mistake from the car up ahead, it's going to be very, very hard for him to try and recover. It looks like a beautiful, beautiful run though. And it looks like Melvin's 4th place position is safe for now, but you can see the draft effect in these Porsches. Very, very strong slipstream effect right now. Jasri Junos now in the pit lane, and a couple of other drivers I believe yet to pit right now. But as we get past 31st minute, coming into the 32nd minute, 8 minutes to go in the race. Iman Danish is in first place, gaining 1 position. Kelvinder Singh in 2nd, losing 1 position. Shapawi is still holding strong in 3rd, with Movidijit in 4th place. Taki in 5th position. Jazrin in 6th place with 12 positions gained since the start. Ilham Lawi 10 positions gained at the start in 7th place. Kui another 12 positions. Wanli Kui there in 8th place. Nabil in 9th and Azrael in 10th position. And Shafrin doing very well for himself. He's gained 11 positions. He started in 22nd place. He's now in 11th. Very interesting stuff indeed. Now Kelvin T is one of the last drivers to head off into the pit lane. do you have enough fuel to get yourself into the pit box?
I have actually done my pit last lap, but this is for crashing too much. So this is the
Oh, this is a
Yeah,
drive
so-
through. Yeah.
yeah. So this is the penalty that you just drive through the pits, right? It's a relatively mild penalty, but that's what you get for spinning too much.
Hopefully you'll be able to keep that lead-tipped arrow going in a straight line there. You have managed to get yourself ahead of Akib Basarom there, so you're still in 14th position, I do apologize. And hopefully you'll be able to see your way to the end there. Looks like it's all clear skies up ahead for you there.
Oh yes. I mean, it's actually enjoying to drive this thing. Once you get once you get the I think that was Kelvinder.
Ah,
What? Oh.
Kelvinder's fun.
No. He's still okay.
He was out on track just now actually,
Oh.
in the
right.
middle of the track. Yeah.
Oh, still in position, so it's okay lah. Maybe.
Yeah, he has a lot of time.
oh, he's lost a lot of time as well. He's
Yeah.
15 seconds behind
Oh,
Danish.
yeah.
He
Let's
was
see what
fourth.
happened. Yeah.
Well, good spotting there. I think we're going to have to... Oh, yeah. Stop. We have an old school VHS player in the studio. But now coming into the Villeneuve chicane, then it looks like he just got on the throttle a little bit too early,
Oh.
and he has just had the slowest of spins going into that rear tire barrier, managing to keep position there. As you can see, our intrepid reporter overtaking them and gaining back a lap from Kavinder Singh, but he's in second position. I do apologize, there's still a lap behind, but at least not to Kelvinder.
I'm just hoping to carry this position to the finish line. That's it. By my calculation, I'm losing about 2 seconds a lap from the damage.
So
You
yeah,
got 5 minutes left. Yeah.
2 laps, yeah?
yeah. So you should be able to get it to the finish line. We'll leave you to it until the end of the race there, but
Yeah,
We'll-
as
we'll
per,
drop it.
just wanted to quote my favorite driver here. Leave me alone. I know what I'm doing.
we will do that, and we'll drop into you after the race. We'll drop in with you after the race there. So meanwhile, we've got the battle between Jaswin Jali and Taki and Malvindigit. So it's a 3-horse race. It's become a 2-horse battle right now, and they're closing up with Matt Chapawi up there in 3rd place. So the adrenaline bit. Oh, just as we were about to say there, carbon copy spin for Jaswin Jali, the exact same spin that we saw from Kavinder Singh.
yeah.
Not too sure if there's some oil on the track out there. It does kind of look like that, doesn't it? But yeah, it's definitely the outside rear tire there beginning to show signs of real distress for a lot of the drivers out there. Perhaps they were pushing a little bit too hard at the start of the race. Jasmine was definitely pushing his way up through the field. He was definitely driving as fast as he possibly can through there, and perhaps he's just running a little bit, running out of grip there for himself there. Amanabel in 10th place there. He was battling with Azrael Nazli there. There's still half a second between those two drivers right now. It's going to be interesting to see how this battle ends up. Amanabel there is still there or thereabouts around the bottom of the top 10. He wants to try and get a little bit further up. 1 or 2 more positions would do very nicely, thank you very much, for himself through this race. A few more laps to go. I think we might see a lap 22 in this race, if not even a lap 23, depending on where the drivers are out there. Looks like Ilham has lost quite a lot of time there in 6th position there between himself and Taki. Taki Malvindigit Singh there. Taki spun. Taki's off, I think.
Oh, he went off track.
Spin. He just, I believe the brakes failed to slow him down for Senna S there. He got away with that quite lightly. When you get these cars onto the gravel or onto the grass, it can be very difficult to keep it in a straight line. Any Porsche rally driver will tell you it can be a little bit hairy if you're not paying attention there. But Taki managing to keep the car in a straight line, he manages to survive for another lap. The concentration levels dropping perhaps a little bit, but I think more likely the grip levels are dropping by quite a bit there, especially for a lot of the drivers up in front. But Iman Danish still in the lead there. There's another car off. That's Akid Basarov, I believe, who's gone off track as well. And it looks like he may have had just a bit of unintended oversteer going into that last corner there, but now he's back on his way there. A real hard race for all these drivers right now. And there we see Malvinderjit Singh there in 4th position, trying to stay pace with Matchapawi. Matchapawi doing very well for himself up in 3rd place.
Yeah, steady, very steady lead today. Okay, Danish is about to... Oh yeah, Danish right now is currently... I think there's one more lap next after this.
Perhaps. We might see a lap 23, 24 even actually. Well, it's hard to say. We'll have to make a look. Leave your guess down below how many laps this race is going to be. I'm sure someone out there has got their calculators out and working this out alongside, but it looks like no, we've got 1 minute to go. It's going to be a 23 lap race there for Iman Danish and the guys on the lead lap of the race there. He's done very well for himself. He's kept the car mostly unscathed. There's a little bit of a dent on that front bumper there, but apart from that, he's managed to keep that car going quite nicely indeed. Very, very talented driver there, quite young as well, and perhaps the future of sim racing here in Malaysia, along with quite a few of the other drivers out there. We've seen a whole new generation of drivers coming up, and it's very, very exciting indeed. So Iman Danish in 1st position, only 30 seconds to go. Will he back off? He's got 15 seconds.
Yeah, he can slow down if he wants.
Yeah, so the smart thing to do is to slow down and not take the risk of one more lap. This is classic endurance racing tactics. What we always used to do is just back the car off right about now. He's going
for it.
He's going to try and go for one more lap.
Yeah.
That was 10 seconds to go. He decided not to back off. He's going for it. One more lap to go. Perhaps he wasn't confident that he could slow down and still get the win there. Kavinder Singh, he goes across the line. He'll be the first man who comes across the line after the 40-minute mark. But this is the last lap of the race. We are on the 23rd lap of the race. The white flag is out, and very, very big gaps for the first 3 drivers there. Iman Danish, Kavinder Singh and Malvinderjit Singh in 1st, 2nd and 3rd places respectively. Ilham Labi, meanwhile, he's still battling with Mat Chapawi. Chapawi's dropped down a couple of places there. He was in 3rd place, but now he's down into 5th. I'm not too sure what happened with him, but it looks like a lot of these cars are beginning to get a little bit unstuck. Quite literally coming
in front of Ilham is Fairuz actually. Fairuz is back marker. Yeah, it's been
but Chapawi's in 5th, not 3rd.
Oh yeah, he dropped somehow. Yeah.
That's interesting.
There's
a bit of an X Factor moment there. We didn't see it. Well, X Factor, X Files, I meant.
Oh, here it is. Yeah, he went off track.
So there we go, and just a little bit too much go-go juice there at the exit of Tosa. Very, very simple mistake to make. Always try to push hard coming out of that hairpin, because it's so critical for a good lap time to get a good drive out of there. And it looks like he just got it a little bit loose there. That's going to be heartbreaking for him at the last lap there to lose 2 positions. But I'm sure he'll keep his spirits up there. Jasmine Jelly, he's still trying to move his way up the leaderboard there.
Danish finished.
Has he?
No,
Has he? He hasn't.
No,
he spun. He spun.
And Kavinder takes the win.
Kavinder Singh takes the win there. Iman Danish, he spun it at Rivazza at the final corner. He decided to try and go for one more lap, and it has all blown up for him. It looks like he's got a puncture. His tyre has given up. He's got some suspension damage. He's managed to get it home in 2nd place, but I don't believe it. What on earth happened there? It looks like he blew a tyre, and he blew a tyre coming into that corner there. He tried to straight line it, but there was a bit of terrain glitch there that stopped him from cutting through that chicane there. But yeah, he blew his tyre. Oh, he's going to be ruining. He's going to be ruining the fact that he didn't slow down for one more lap. He decided to go for it instead, and that decision has backfired. Kelvinder Singh takes home the win. Iman Danish in second. Mavinderjit Singh finishes in third. Taki in fourth. Chapawi in fifth. Ilham comes home in sixth place. Jazrin in seventh. Hui in 8th, Azrael there in 9th place, and we see Nabil come across the line in 10th position. I have never seen a finish like that.
Oh, yes.
At the final corner of the race, he spins out and lets Kelvinder through in the second to last corner, actually. The Variante Alta strikes again.
All right, so for the
look at
post-race
that.
briefing here.
Yeah, so he blew his tyre on the entry coming in, and he tried to straight line the chicane there, but there was a bit of terrain there, or a bit of something that blocked his path, and that you can see the tyre is absolutely flat and on the rim.
All
One
right,
more
everyone.
lap.
What a good race. Thank you. Have a good weekend. See you on track.
Unbelievable. He had 5 seconds in hand, and as you can see there, he had no grip going through Ravatsa. And he spun off the track there, letting Kelvinder Singh past. Unbelievable stuff indeed. He had 5 seconds in hand. Iman Danish had 5 seconds in hand where he could have slowed the car down and finished on lap 22. He decided to go for one more lap.
Max, I think it was almost 10. 10 seconds gap.
Still.
Yeah. He could
With
just
15 seconds
Yeah.
gap between first and second place, he had the ability to slow it down. And I'm just, I think I'm speechless. I'm sure he's speechless. Everyone's, a little bit of shock for that one. But
Actually, Max,
so
as
close.
a young driver, I guess this is a good training ground.
Well, perhaps.
Let's move on to the room below and talk to the guys. Kelvinder's there. We have Iman Danish
right.
also there. Let's go.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah.
Sebelum first turn.
Hi guys.
Ooh.
We're still live. Congrats on finishing the race.
Congrats.
Ada blind wall.
Oh my
What the
goodness.
heck?
So, I mean, I have to ask, Ivan,
Yeah.
you're so close to finishing on the previous lap, but you had to keep going to finish it on lap 23. You look like you had a tire blowout.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he tire punctured.
Yeah.
Punctured.
So you're gonna have to go back to the tire shop where you got that tire and But we're gonna talk to Kelvinder Singh. Kelvinder, how does it feel to win the race, and what was your reaction when you saw that you were going to win the race on the last lap?
Oh, yo, what is this question? I want to thank my father, my mother. But I see the front car spin. I'm very happy.
An honest man. An honest man.
So, I mean, it happens lah. Even a small moment you lose focus, you will spin. Even for me, just now, while exiting the turn, I just throttle a bit extra only, put a boom, and a bit too much steering, just spin like that. So yeah, it's very, very challenging.
So what do you think of the car in general? You seem to have done quite well for yourself for this race, and I hear you're doing quite well in Porsches in general. What are your thoughts with the GT3 Cup car?
I think I've never driven one in real life, of course. I have seen the car in real life. The rear wing is super huge, and I think the only thing that membantu pemandu ialah rear wing lah, sebab rear wing dia memang besar sangat. I pernah tengok, is so big. So it's memang a driver's car lah, because in order to be consistent, to be fast, you have to really understand the car. Kena faham dia punya karakteristik macam mana. And what makes it a very good car untuk practice is that dia tak ada ABS, dia tak ada traction, dia tak ada apa pun. So ia akan melatihi driver semualah. Bila tekan minyak macam mana, tekan minyak lebih macam mana, steering angle macam mana, braking, semua benda dia akan belajar. So this car will teach the driver a lot of things. So I would say it's a completely a driver's car lah. No assist, no nothing. Very very good car to build the skill.
Awesome. And I'll ask a mildly loaded question.
Oh.
Would you like to see this car in more races?
Oh yes, definitely, because yes, it's challenging, it's difficult, but it's gonna, if we do a series on this, semua driver akan tak ada no choice. Semua driver mesti practice, semua driver mesti improve dia punya skill untuk laju. So I think this car will improve everybody's skill regardless. Yes, so everybody have to practice together
Yeah,
and
more seat
improve.
time lah. Yeah.
More seat time, yes. So I think this car will help everyone to improve. So yes, I think yes, go for it.
Interesting indeed. So I'll ask the same question to most of the drivers here. First of all, I'm going to ask Imad Danish. Apa jadi tadi?
What's up, Iman? What's up?
What's up? Hello guys.
Mesti rasa bit frust kan tadi.
Yeah. Bukan
What was that?
Banyak gila.
Oh, you missed it, Kevin Dan.
Iman suddenly becomes potong rumput punya tu guy.
So I never knew a Porsche could do a stoppie.
I look up the chicane, cannot make it to the turn. Try nak go straight kan. And then boom.
A sudden change in profession.
Iman supposed to win, but then there is a wall. What the hell is that?
You all didn't know that we put an invisible tire wall there. Huh? I guess we forgot to tell you.
Dude, that's a weird bug, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess that one of us is going to have to report that to iRacing.
Yeah.
But
Man, what? I've never seen something like that before.
yeah, that's so strange.
So weird.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it, but only in like really bad AC mods. Right. And of course, after that, you had suspension damage, unfortunately, or a bit of a passenger coming into the braking zone here.
Yep.
I think all of us.
There you go. Yeet.
Yeah.
And then
There go
this
my place.
moment.
Yeah.
Kevin Dan takes to it.
What the hell?
Straight. That middle there, I think got some bug.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
left hand side is okay. No wall or whatsoever.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
really strange. If you did go just straight on, you would have been okay. But
Yes.
that was a huge impact. Obviously, coming down from that height would have damaged a lot of components on the car there.
Yeah.
But we all knew how quick you were, Ivan. So hopefully next time you can confirm lah.
Mm-mm.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, just before we go, we'll have a quick chat with a couple of other drivers. First of all, Melvin Digit Singh. Melvin, you have a bit of a nice, rather interesting livery on your car there. Could you care to explain to the wonderful penonton at home?
Today is one of our teammates, Hyperbulls. One of our teammates' birthday, so we decided to do something ridiculous. So we drew a livery based on his face. Just to wish him happy birthday.
It looks wonderful.
At the last minute, actually. So
Yeah. And of course the famous tagline, the hate me then lembu me.
Max, I actually have a question, Max.
Yeah.
I myself
What if
laughed
they love
when I was drawing the car. Look at the name on the door there. Penguin.
Gunadhan, yeah. So of course he's known as Pingu in the community. Brilliant race sim driver, great friend of the community as well. He's been really helpful and really nice to have around. So hopefully we'll be able to see him in more races sometime soon.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
think he's having cake right now. The final hours of his birthday.
Probably.
Yeah. So before we head off, another couple more questions there. First of all, Afiq, how was the race for you?
First stint went pretty bad. I mean, I got punted while I was following JJ in the first lap. So I got a bit mad there because I was being very careful. And then I think it was between Paduka and Shafin. I think they were battling it out, or with another guy, I can't remember. Then Paduka went really wide. Then he came back in like really tight. So Shafin had to avoid Paduka, and I just didn't have the time to avoid Shafin, and I did the legendary Lembu thing.
If you can't go left or right, just go straight ahead, right?
Yeah, definitely.
What are your thoughts on the car in general, though?
The car's fine. I mean, it takes a bit of time to get used to. I can say it has similar characteristics to the one that we had with the GT4. In terms of gearing as well, it's mostly similar, but it's just a bit violent on the throttle. That's the only difference from my side.
Alrighty, and of course I'll ask everyone while we have them here, would you guys just so happen to like to see a whole bunch of these races, perhaps in a row, or maybe even one big race?
Yes.
Big yes.
Oh, you just missed that. Just rewind that again. Who was that? I don't know. Number
Might be.
That was Jasri, was it?
Yeah. 277. What number? 25.
I must say,
Just Junus, yeah. Just Junus. Missed that by an inch. Yeah.
Well held.
I saw his entry was a bit wonky, so I stepped on the brake early.
Nice. Nice choice.
Sometimes discretion really is the better part of valor. So yeah, I guess before we go away, we had Kelvin T as our roving reporter throughout the course of the race. I've been annoying him by asking him, as he was busy trying to drive a race car, and asking for his thoughts throughout the course of the race. How has it been for you?
I mean, Variante Alta has not been very kind to me. But other than that, it was a really fun race. I think I learned a lot about the 911 today. I think this was my second time driving it, and I mean, you really learn a lot from this car, I think, and it's definitely a great car. I mean, if the boys are happy to race this, I would be, I mean, this like what Kelvin said just now, it's really a driver's car.
Kelvin's fast though. I was having trouble trying to catch up to him.
I don't know. Just now I couldn't hear you on the voice chat. I was saying to go because I got punted from the back and I lost a lot of performance, so I was thinking don't want to hold you back. Yeah,
Instead, it turned out to be a fantastic defensive maneuver because you were right in the middle of the course at one point. And I was like, "Oh, that's smart."
Yeah, Max was like, "Oh, good defense." I was like, "Yeah, actually, no, trying to move out of the way to stop myself from blocking anyone else." But that was fun, man, guys. That was so good. Yeah, that was so good.
Alrighty. So, any last words from any of you guys before we head off on our merry way?
no.
To insinuate that this is the time you say happy birthday.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Syaril Rafrin.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday.
Umur dia berapa sekarang? 19 kan?
Tahulah. Kena tanya Syamil Aizan
I
yang
think
tak tahu dia
I think he's 19 or 20. But that's what he told me.
That's why his name is Pingu Nadit, young version of Pingu.
You go. So in any case, special thanks goes out to Afif Adlan, Ahmad Zubair, Imad Danish, Shashri Junus, Kavinder Singh, our winner. Congratulations to you. And also special thanks there to Mavinderjit Singh and crew for having that wonderful livery. It's been very entertaining looking at that car, that face going around the track. And of course, a special thanks to all the drivers who are out there driving. Absolutely spectacular stuff. We cannot wait to bring you more of these drivers racing these cars. But also another special thanks goes out to Adrenaline Impact, Vertex Esports, and our media partners, Galeri Kereta. Thanks goes out to Kelvin T for being our, not a pit lane reporter, but a racetrack reporter.
Yeah.
And of course, to our director, Kara Alang, thank you very much. And of course, a very, very special thank you to you, the viewers, without whom we wouldn't be able to make this happen. Along with all our drivers, those two aspects are the most important part of our stream. So special thanks to the drivers and special thanks to the fans watching at home. I've been Max Palmer, and we will see you all in the next stream. Bye for now. Ta-ra.
Thank you, everyone. Ta-ra.
Bye. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Meow meow.
Oh, salah aku.
Cabinet.